gaps and help protect you from rising healthcare costs. At only $99 per month up to age 75, you get peace of mind at a price you can afford. And MediShare is trusted too. It's been around 30 years. It's not some big impersonal thing. It's a community of people helping each other, business owners, pastors, retirees. People love it. MediShare 65 Plus just makes sense. To learn more, give them a call. They're great to talk to. They'll offer to pray with you each time you call too. Call now, 833-SHARE-55. That's 833-SHARE-55. 833-SHARE-55.
Winter is tough. Be tougher with Cub Cadet X Series snowblowers. With 3 levels of snow clearing power, this lineup is built to handle harsh conditions. With features like push-button electric start and finger-controlled power steering, you'll make quick work of whatever winter throws your way. Seize the season with the Cub Cadet X Series, engineered for extreme. Head to your local Cub Cadet dealer, Colby Ag Center LC, at 305 East Horton for exceptional offers, expert advice, and excellent service.
Rocket 1025.
With your updated forecast, I'm staff meteorologist Paul Trombley from the Weatherology Weather Center. Daytime highs approaching 83 today under mainly sunny skies, winds out of the south 15 to 20 miles per hour. Lows around 54 tonight, partly cloudy skies. Mainly cloudy skies tomorrow. Slight chance for showers. Daytime highs approaching 75. Chance of thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday. Low 60s Saturday, upper 60s by Sunday. Looking further out, 70 Monday, 75 Tuesday, and 73 on Wednesday. Another look at the short range. Highs reach 83 today. Lows level off around 54 tonight. We should top off around 75 tomorrow. Get up to the minute weather updates from the Weatherology Weather Center. I'm staff meteorologist Paul Trombley on this NWKS radio station. Currently, it's 50 degrees.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to healthcare. And that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 844-53-BIBLE. That's 844-53-BIBLE, 844-53-BIBLE.
October is National Cooperative Month. Midwest Energy is a customer-owned cooperative, meaning everyone who takes service is a part owner. You vote to choose your board of directors, and you share in the economic success of the co-op. Like all co-ops, Midwest Energy promotes growth in our communities through employee involvement, by supporting schools, and through the Midwest Community Fund. Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative, making energy work for you.
The one hail of a sale continues at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Get huge savings on not just lightly hailed on vehicles, but also ones that don't have hail or have had the hail fixed. How about a 2024 GMC Sierra 1500 SLE with hail up to $13,000 off when trading in an eligible vehicle, now only $49,000. A 24 Chevy Tahoe RST with hail up to $14,000 off, now just $58,000. It's one hail of a sale, and it continues at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas, online at hurlchev.com.
Even though your attention has turned back to school with events and activities, you just can't forget everything going on at home. That's where your local Hoover Lumber-Ace hardware stores in Goodland and Colby come in. Keep the lawn in check with mowers, blowers, and trimmers from Craftsman, Toro, and Ego. They are still your local Benjamin Moore paint retailer, and they still have that amazing selection of outdoor grills and griddles from Traeger, Weber, and Blackstone. Plus, their helpful and knowledgeable staffs are some of the best in the Northwest. It's all at Hoover Lumber-Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Open every day but Sunday.
It's hard to believe, but it's been almost 100 years since McClure's Plumbing and Heating began serving the area.
McClure's Plumbing and Heating.
When McClure's opened its doors in 1930, Mickey Mouse and Superman were in their first year of existence. Now, over 3 generations later, like those icons, McClure's is still here and continues to provide service for all of your heating, cooling, and plumbing needs. Call McClure's Plumbing and Heating in Goodland today at 899-6229. That's 899-6229.
McClure's Plumbing and Heating.
Your livelihood is important to you. You work hard to succeed in your farming operation, crop, livestock, home, vehicles, and special needs. We have you covered. Discounts are available for new business, remodeling, hail-resistive roofing, multi-policy, and many more. Optional coverage endorsements as well for machinery, ingestion, and equipment breakdown. Umbrella coverage for additional coverage on your home, farm, and auto. See the girls at the insurance agency at 1020 Main in Goodland or call 785-899-5011.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
It's the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
The region's only local sports talk.
Listen to this guy. He knows what he's talking about.
Broadcasting on Goodland's Rocket 102.5, simulcasting on Goodland's 730 Gold KLOE.
Guys everywhere.
Discussing it all from the preps.
It's been a long, long time. But the Goodland Cowboys are going to play for a state title.
To the pros.
How about a walk-off grand slam? Touch of all time, Ryan McMahon.
The Blitz is presented by Pearl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank, as well as the Insurance Agency, Farmer State Bank in Oakley, the Cowboy Corner Express, and Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell.
Let's go to work.
Here. Betts takes it out. What a pick by Lindor. What a play. Francisco Lindor. Typo numbers. There's a towering drive down the line. Otani's broken through. It is gone. A majestic home run into the second deck. 7-0 LA.
In the fourth quarter of game 3. 4 seconds. Ionescu will heave and hit. And hit! Sabrina Ionescu with the biggest shot in Liberty history.
I don't know. There's a towering fly ball headed way back there, headed for the second deck. Muncy with a no-doubt home run. What a day for him. What a day for the Dodgers. It's another rout. 8-0 in game 3.
And good Thursday morning, everybody. We're off and rolling here on the Morning Blitz. On Goodland's Rocket 102.5, simulcasting on 730 Gold, KLOE. Also, of course, at nwksradio.net and the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Ross Volkmer and Max Gershon getting your Thursday rolling. 52 degrees to get this day going. Mostly sunny skies expected and temperatures going to reach the 80s here on this Thursday. Hopefully not as windy as yesterday. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully you didn't smile too much out there on the golf course, Max. How much did the wind affect your golf game yesterday?
Did not make it to the golf course yesterday. Too cold for me. Maybe today. We'll see. We'll see how it is out there. But I have a Kraken little sweater on.
See this, a Kraken jersey.
Yeah, that's the team. I started getting into hockey last year. I'm still haven't fully embraced hockey yet into my sports world, but I don't know why, but I like their logo. They're a newer team. They're decent, so that's the team I chose. But
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by that pick being when you were down in Florida. The Panthers are the defending champions.
Yeah, but I don't want a bandwagon.
What about Tampa Bay Lightning? They've been good too here recently.
I'll never root for a Tampa team. Never. not ever happening. No.
Well, I don't know if anybody else saw this funny story yesterday, but of course, Tampa Bay Rays and Tropicana Field has been demolished by the Hurricanes, and it's being told that that stadium is not going to be repaired fast enough, if everything even goes perfectly right, for them to be there when the season opens in March here of 2025. And so there's been early discussions on where are they going to play their home games at. And anyway, they were throwing around some stadiums and stuff. And they said, really, the only stadium, the next biggest stadium that does not have that is not really in use full time for baseball, that would be available is Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, Nebraska. The Omaha Rays. Let's go, baby. I'd be all for that. That'd be great.
That would be something. Maybe they go to the ESPN's Wide World Sports Complex in Orlando. I don't know, but have you been to Tropicana by any chance?
No, I have never been to the Trop. I don't think it's very nice, at least from what I've seen. And everything I hear, it's kind of a dump.
I went to a Royals game there last year. The only way I'd describe it is a fever dream. It's like they put a baseball field in the middle of a mall. That's kind of the vibe you get from Tropicana Field. That's how I'd explain it.
I can see that. I can totally see that. But yeah, I don't know. The only thing I think I like about that ballpark is probably the little Ray pool. It's probably the only cool thing. The Ray pool. That's about the only cool thing I can think of about that ballpark for Tropicana Field. Now they're getting a brand new ballpark here, I think, in about 3 to 5 years.
Something like that.
Yeah, something in that range. They're getting a brand new ballpark, but they're gonna have to play somewhere, and they're gonna get this. Think about that. You gotta invest millions of dollars to fix that roof and fix it decent enough in case another hurricane comes, and then you got to spend money to build a new stadium. That's going to be tough to swallow there for a franchise that's not big on spending money.
Well, they don't make any money from selling tickets.
That's
no
true.
one goes to the game. So
that is true.
It is all around rough.
It's a rough time
for the Rays right now.
But go Omaha Rays! Let's see.
That'd be awesome.
Bring them to Omaha. Let's see it. That'd be great. I'd love to see that happen. And all they have to do is be done by the end of June when the most important thing in Omaha happens, which is the College World Series.
So would the Storm Chasers?
They play at Warner Park, though.
That's
true. They play at a different place. They play at Warner Park. So it's different.
Okay.
That's why TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab Field now. That's why it works, because there's nothing in there. Well, there would be some college baseball with Creighton, but I mean, you could work around that if you wanted to. No offense to Creighton. It's not like as if you've got, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's not like you have a ton of fans that fill TD Ameritrade Park. It's one of those deals between a college and a venue like, hey, come play in the home of the College World Series and we'll have, 100 fans there in a big stadium, and it'll look really bad. But
yeah,
Creighton is on the, I think, on the verge of having their own stadium built much smaller, more compact.
Are they really?
I think so. I think that's kind of the trend. Omaha said it. Omaha, who used to be Division II, now is Division I. They set the trend kind of with building their own little ballpark, filling it up, making it feel like a more of a home atmosphere. And so I think Creighton's like, you know what? We should do that. That sounds like a good idea. And I believe that's what they're going to do. I'm sorry, all the Omaha talk, but being the Nebraska guy, this was just big, interesting news around the Rays yesterday.
I got to say, didn't think we would talk about Creighton baseball today, but
hit it on your bingo card, baby.
We're going to continue the streak of Blue Valley North Mustangs being mentioned on this broadcast. Jackson Goldberg, a Creighton Blue Jay on the baseball team. So, the Blue Valley North Mustangs just across the country playing in collegiate sports. And that's 3 straight days I've been able to bring up a North Mustang onto this broadcast. We'll see if that streak keeps going.
I actually had a classmate that went to Creighton but did not play baseball. Well, but that's about all that I can tell you on that. Max will be the one that tells about all of his cool connections around the world of baseball. Anyway, here on a Thursday show, we'll talk some volleyball with Colby High School head coach Shelby Mosier, probably at least record-wise, the best team in the region volleyball, was finishing up the regular season with a 31-5 record. We will talk to her today about what they're thinking for the postseason and looking back at a phenomenal 2024 regular season. So we'll get to her coming up here at the bottom of the hour. We will also get to some little bit touch of baseball as the Dodgers stomp the Mets. There in Game 3. We have Game 3 of the ALCS tonight in Cleveland. Can they get off the schneid? Also tonight, it's Broncos at Saints as Denver gets things going here in Week 7 of the NFL. And look forward to talking a little bit about what we expect to see in that game, particularly from the Broncos as Sean Payton returns to the place that he resurrected pretty much in that Saints organization. So that'll be an interesting game tonight. So look forward to visiting about that. But it is a Thursday, and that means that we do have the NFL Power 5 to get to here first. So, just like yesterday with the college football Power 5, we now turn over and throw it in the professional league. And Max, I will let you go with the start of
5.
Number 5. Go ahead.
I'm a little more organized today, Ross.
Attaboy.
I actually have a list.
Folks, it's only going to get better from here. It's only going to go up.
Exactly.
More Creighton baseball talk on the way.
If you've enjoyed it so far, it's only going to get better from here. Number 5 on my Power 5 list for this weekend, Monday night football game. There's 2 on Monday, and they're both actually in this list. But number 5, Chargers and Cardinals, I think is a very intriguing matchup. Justin Herbert in this offense, they're playing better than I thought. J.K. Dobbins has had a great start. They're still an injured football team, which they always are. That's kind of the Chargers' way. But the Cardinals have also been an impressive football team through the first 6 weeks of the NFL season. So I'm excited to see those two offenses kind of go at it on Monday Night Football. That one is in Arizona. So I think both these teams kind of an important game here early in the season, and I think they match up pretty well against each other. So that is my number 5 on my list.
I like that pick. I think the Chargers are fascinating. They have an old school feel. We're going to run the ball at you. We don't really care. We're just going to run it at you all the time. And Kyler Murray, I've always said he's one of the most fun quarterbacks to watch since Michael Vick. I love how he is small. I love small, quick guys. I love watching them because it's just like watching them like a rabbit just kind of run around a bunch of crazy people. It's just so much fun to watch them do that. And that's what Kyler Murray does week in and week out. So it's a lot of fun. And I think that's a very interesting game at number 5. I'm actually going across the pond for my number 5 game. I'll be up to watch this game. The Jacksonville Jaguars at their second home in London taking on the Patriots. That's right, the 1-5 Patriots taking on the 1-5 Jaguars. Look, it's an elimination game, folks. If you win this game, maybe your team stays together for a few more weeks. If you lose this game, it's time to start selling pieces. It's time to start thinking about how can we get better for the future. That means we probably got to dump some pieces. I personally think the Patriots don't have a lot to lose because they're already at the rock bottom. They're starting over with a rookie quarterback. The Jags have everything to lose. And they have I believe that Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. No matter what other people think, I think he is a good quarterback. Well, he can throw the ball. He's got good mobility. I loved him coming out of Clemson. I think he's a good quarterback. He can still be a franchise quarterback. Other playmakers around him need to make plays. And so I don't think the Jaguars are honestly that terrible of a football team. They've lost a lot of close games here this season. Can they get it done against a Patriots team that they should beat? That's the thing. It's a culture check game. Is your culture really as bad as you said it was last week? Because if it is, and you lose to the Patriots, it's all going to go even further downhill. So that's my number 5 game on the NFL Power 5 here in what is week number 7.
Number 4.
Yeah, well, going to your pick really quickly, I do think this is a game for the Jaguars. I agree with you. It's a must win, but not only, to keep the season alive, if that's even a possibility at this point, but do you want to go back to Jacksonville when you come, across back into the United States of America? Doug Peterson might not have a home when he comes back. Calvin Ridley may just land in Kansas City after this London game. We'll see what happens. So, we'll see. That's going to be, you're right. That is a must win for the Jaguars. My number 4 on this list is the other Monday Night Football game, Ravens at Buccaneers. I think this is going to be a very fun game. It is in Tampa. You've got the, gritty Baker Mayfield led Buccaneers with how fun Mike Evans and Chris Godwin have been to watch this year in primetime. I think primetime games in Tampa always feel like they're fun to watch. And then the Ravens, who just run the football as good as, I've seen in a long time. So I think, with the Bucs D line, which is always a strength of theirs, going up against Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, this has the makes to be a good Monday Night Football. 2 good Monday Night Football games.
The Buccaneers are continually surprised me. Baker Mayfield is the biggest reason why. He has just found a spot there in Tampa Bay where he has turned his career into being a true solid good quarterback in the NFL, and he has good weapons to throw to, and that certainly helps a whole lot. And yes, the Ravens, I think, are maybe behind the Chiefs, the best team in the NFL. Most complete team, defensively, offensively. They have it all rolling in the right direction. If you are a Baltimore Ravens fan, you're feeling very good about that. My number 4 game, I am going to Sunday Night Football, where we might see 2 new faces playing in 2 new places, as the New York Jets are at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, we're going to see Davante Adams. According to reports, he is going to play on Sunday night. Will that actually change anything for the Jets? I don't think so. Probably not. Don't think it's going to do much, folks. It may result in maybe a few fantasy points for your boy who's got Davante Adams in one of his leagues. But that's probably about it. I don't think it's going to change much. That Steelers defense is elite. Best defense, I think, in pro football. It's amazing. And TJ Watt is an absolute insane person when he comes off firing off the edge. And the Steelers, well, they might be done with Justin Fields. It might be time to go to Russell Wilson. Is that the right move? I don't know. I don't know. It's what, 2 dozen one way, half a dozen one way, and what is it? Half a dozen, 6 one way, half a dozen the other. I don't think it really matters a whole lot on who starts a quarterback for the Steelers, but that defense will keep them in the game, and that's probably the funnest thing because you've got an offensive team in the Jets that's like, we got to showcase how good we can be going against the best defense in the NFL, which is going to be very tricky to do. So that's my number 4.
Yeah, you've got 2 geezer quarterbacks going up against each other that are out of their primes. And, I think I think it's going to come down to a game-winning drive by Russell Wilson, and I don't know if he can do it, but we'll see. And that's going to kind of decide what this rest of the Steelers season looks like offensively. So I think this is a very, very big game for both teams, but I think it does mean more to the Jets. Davante Adams needs to get going quickly because they are, they're behind the chains, you could say, in the AFC East. So, yeah, very important game. My number 3 in my Power 5 NFL, Lions, Vikings. And I know on paper, record-wise, this probably is the best game this week, but I'm not fully sold on the Vikings. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way, or if this is kind of if anyone else feels like that. But the Vikings, they've played incredible football so far, but this is, I think, the biggest test they'll face so far this season is this Lions team, which I think you could put the Ravens at number 2 in the NFL, maybe even, but I don't know. I think personally, I'm a Chiefs fan, but I might put the Lions at number 1 in the NFL right now. I think that they have such a complete football team and are playing at such a high level. So it's going to be a real test for the Vikings. If they win this game, I'm sold. I am sold on the Vikings, but that is my number 3.
No Aiden Hutchinson for the rest of the season for Detroit. Throws a massive wrench into the Lions' plans. It'll be interesting to see if they do something at the trade deadline to bring some more pressure off the edge. Sam Darnold has done a phenomenal job at Minnesota. 11 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions. They have a good running back. They took the Packers' Aaron Jones, who I think is a good player, and they got weapons to throw to. This is going to be a phenomenal football game. Minnesota is a 1.5-point favorite at home. The crowd will be juiced for this game. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting contest. You have the number 1 scoring offense in the Lions against the number 6 scoring offense in the Vikings. And then when you go by kind of in yards per game allowed, you've got, both top 20 defenses. I think we just see, I could see a lot of points scored in this game, which makes it not only entertaining, but I think it will be close. This is going to be a very, very good game. And I'm kind of with you. I am more of a believer in the Vikings than you are, but this will certainly solidify that if they can knock off the Lions at home, once again in Minneapolis. That'll be very, very big. So I would agree. Great game there. My number 3, going to Sunday morning with the Texans at the Packers. I think this game is very intriguing. CJ Stroud has been phenomenal. Over 1,500 yards passing so far this year with 10 touchdowns and 4 picks. They really haven't got the running game going. I think like maybe they were hoping to with Joe Mixon. Only 2 touchdowns and 286 yards, but they can certainly throw the ball, and their defense has been good. And Jordan Love, he put up unbelievable numbers last week in their win. And I don't know, it's amazing to me how the Packers are kind of like one of the best teams in college football. They, even though they bring in some different pieces, they still seem to just kind of keep rolling, if you're the Packers. And they've done that, with Josh Jacobs as the running back, over 400 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Love, 12 touchdowns to 6 picks. Maybe they get that lowered down, but I like this matchup. I think it's a very difficult place to play, too. Very difficult place in Lambeau Field. So it'll be a challenge for Houston. But I think that also makes this game very interesting. Right now, Green Bay, a 2.5-point favorite, pretty much just because they're home. This would be an even game if it was on a neutral site field. Texans, Packers, 5-1 versus 4-2, number 3 on my NFL Power 5.
Well, let's just jump right into my number 2 because it's also
Number
Texans
2.
versus Packers. I agree with everything you said, and I think this game comes down to who wins the turnover battle. The Packers have done an incredible job defensively all season. I believe they have the most turnovers forced in the NFL through 6 weeks. Xavier McKinley has had that stretch of 5 straight games to start the year with a pick. So their defense has really stepped up. But I think Jordan Love, as good as he has been playing, he has had some very weird turnovers and very costly turnovers, and they can be even more costly playing a team like the Texans. I know me and my buddies in college, they're a lot of them are big Packer fans, so we call it the Jordan Love drunk moment of the game, where he'll slip or he'll like he did against the Rams, or he'll just sidearm something over his head
ridiculously
in
terrible.
the end zone. So, if they can limit the Jordan Love drunk moments of the game and more great Jordan Love plays, then I think they have a very good chance at home against the Texans. But this is 2 young offenses, 2 great deep receiving rooms in both of these teams. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to see that game play out.
My number 2 game is actually what is probably going to be your number 1. I've got Chiefs at the 49ers. This game would probably be number 1 in this Super Bowl rematch game, but the Niners are so banged up with injuries. I mean, I wish they were healthier to see. I mean, as a Chiefs fan, from Max's perspective, yeah, you're happy that they're not at full strength. But from a fan of just football like me, I would like to see both teams be fully healthy and going at it. That'd be very intriguing to see. Even from the Chiefs' perspective, if they had Hollywood Brown as well as Rashee Rice, that would make this game even more fascinating. But the injuries have racked up, and it certainly has hurt the Niners a little bit more. They have struggled here just going 3-3. But they're going to be out for blood. They're playing at home. This is a team that they have not been able to beat when it really matters the most. And Kansas City's 5-0. And that means that, every game that Kansas City plays will be intriguing for sure until they lose that first game. Because everyone's going to know, well, how far can they go keeping this up? And once again, I give all the credit to Andy Reid. It's amazing. It doesn't matter who they have on that roster. They find ways to make it work for their players, and they find ways to win. Doesn't matter if it's Kareem Hunt in the backfield or Isaiah Pacheco. Doesn't matter if it's Rashee Rice or Justin Watson. And even Patrick Mahomes yesterday talked to me and said, I'm happy with the receivers that we have. We don't have to go out and get anybody like a Hopkins or whoever else, Calvin Ridley. We'll play with who we got. And I know that's probably the right thing to say. They were talking to Nick Athen a few weeks ago, said, who's going to go over the middle and make those plays? Well, here's Noah Gray. He'll make those plays over the middle for you. Why not? They find ways to take what they have and make it work, which gives Andy Reid the title of the best coach in the NFL at this point in time. And once again, you got a great offensive mind in the 49ers of Shanahan going up against Spagnuolo, where his defense has been phenomenal this season and really has been the calling card for the Chiefs, I think, this year and even into last year. So I look forward to this game. I think it will be very, very entertaining, which is why I know it's number 1 on Max's list.
Yeah, it is number 1 on my list. I think you have to put the Super Bowl rematch at the number 1 spot. This is a game that not only, means a lot to the 49ers, but the Chiefs at this spot, their offenses, it honestly did take a step forward in that Saints game. It feels like I haven't watched the Chiefs in like a month and a half. That bye week felt like it was forever. And this isn't going to be something I always do, is put the homer pick at number 1. So don't expect that every week. But the 49ers team, I really do feel like is more motivated than the last time these two teams played in the regular season after the Super Bowl. I know it was a couple years back where the Chiefs just kind of blew the Niners out of the water. I believe that was Brock Purdy's first appearance in an NFL game was because we were blowing out Jimmy Garoppolo, and they put Purdy in. I don't remember what week that was, but Juju Smith-Schuster had a very big game that week, and Mahomes is in need of a nice, solid 300 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. I think Mahomes out of the bye week is really not wanting to throw another pick.
Picks?
Yeah, no picks.
Come on, now you're asking too much.
No.
It's amazing. It's amazing how much people love Patrick Mahomes, despite if someone else in the NFL had a 1-to-1 touchdown to pick ratio, they would pick him apart. But it's Mahomes, and they're like, well, he wins.
They don't have back-to-back Super Bowls, Ross.
That's true. He's got the rings.
He's got the rings, and this is what I always say when those turnovers happen, whether it's not delusional, because this is true. Those throws don't happen in January. They really just do not happen. They don't. So that's what I think of when he's throwing those ducks to middle linebackers for no reason in the second half. But regardless, I think he is going to be focused, and I hope that he does not throw another interception this year, so that can, or not this year, this week, so that narrative can go out the window that he has this long stretch. But yeah, Chiefs 49ers is my number one game in the Power 5 NFL this week.
Number one.
My number one game is one that already been mentioned, the Lions and the Vikings. I think it's number one. I think both teams are just in a better spot health-wise, and there's a lot on the line when it comes to an NFC North title. There's a little bit more on the line. It's not a conference game. So there's just more on the line, which to me bumps it ahead of the Chiefs and 49ers. If the 49ers and Chiefs were fully healthy, that could possibly push it to number one. But I've got Detroit going to Minnesota. I would love to see Aiden Hutchinson be full strength, but I know that's not the case. I understand this is a game of attrition and injuries happen, and it changes teams throughout the year, how you adapt. Be intrigued to see how the Detroit Lions do that. By the way, did you happen to see that photo of Dan Lanning at the podium that was like 5 times too big? Did you happen to see that picture?
No, I don't think I did.
You'll have to look up Dan Lanning on the podium and look at, or during the break. That's unbelievable how big that podium is in Detroit. It was ridiculously big. By the way, the F&B Bank text line lighting up here this morning. Thanks to listener Michael, 785-899-2222. We talked about game number one in mine, the Jags and the Pats. He goes, it's the number one pick game. Whoever loses gets the number one pick.
That's true. Where's Travis Hunter going to end up?
Well, there you go. Is he going to go to the Patriots or is he going to Jacksonville?
I don't know which team he'd rather be on at this point. I guess maybe Jacksonville. I don't know.
The weather's nicer there.
That's true. And that's, yeah. I would say Jacksonville is probably the fair guess there.
Isn't he a Florida guy too? I think he is.
So. That's what I want to say.
He is. So I'm kind of going home. Honestly, you'd have a better quarterback throwing to you, in my opinion.
True.
And who knows defensively? I don't know.
We'll see.
Thank you, Michael. That's true. It would be the number one pick game. There you go. The NFL Power 5. Once again, recapping my games. For those who are wondering, I have Jacksonville and Patriots at 1. Jets and Steelers at sorry, that was 5. 4, it was Jets, Steelers. 3, it's Texans, Packers. 2, Chiefs at Niners. And number 1, the Lions at the Vikings.
Yeah, and for me, I have at 5, Chargers, Cardinals, Monday Night Football, then Ravens, Bucks at 4, also Monday Night Football, Lions, Vikings 3, Texans, Packers 2, Chiefs, Niners at number 1.
There you go. The NFL Power 5 here on a Thursday morning for week number 7. There you go. Good stuff. Like that very, very much. All right, let's get to a break. When we come back, we will talk a little high school volleyball. The postseason is coming up, folks. The regular season is done. Postseason is upon us starting on Monday. And we will visit with one of the best teams in the region's coaches, Shelby Mosier of Colby High School next. You're listening to the Morning Blitz.
The one hail of a sale continues at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Get huge savings on not just lightly hailed on vehicles, but also ones that don't have hail or have had the hail fixed. For example, a 24 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali with no hail up to $7,000 off when you're a loyal Buick or GMC owner, now just over $68K. A 24 Chevy Tahoe RST with hail up to $14,000 off, now just $58K. It's one hail of a sale, and it continues at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas, online at hurlchev.com.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning, this is Kate Thompson with the Anderson Trade Group. Today is Thursday, October 17th. And on the overnights last night, December corn traded lower 1 3/4 at 403, March down 2 1/4 at 418 1/4, May down 2 1/2 at 426 1/4, and July beans corn down 2 1/2 at 431 1/2. November beans down 7 cents at 9.73, January down 7 1/2 at 9.86 1/2, March down 8 1/4 at 9.99 1/2, and May beans down 7 3/4 at 10.14 1/4. Chicago wheat, the December contract lowered 2 1/4 at 5.82 1/4, March down 3 cents at 6.02 1/4, May down 3 1/2 at 6.12 1/2, July down 3 cents at 6.18. Kansas City wheat, the December contract down 2 1/2 on the overnight at 5.86 1/4, March down 2 1/4 at 6.01 1/4, May down 3 3/4 at 6.09 1/4, and July hard wheat down 3 3/4 at 6.17 1/4. On the stock market this morning, the Dow up 71 at 43,413, the S&P at $29 at 5,916, the Nasdaq up 199 at 20,549. Gold higher $5.50 an ounce at 2,696, and crude oil up 24 cents a barrel at 70.63. If you have any questions about marketing grain or would like to talk about risk management options, give our Colorado office a call, John Hankey or John Stiles at 970-744-4684. 913-644-4484, or in our Kansas City office, myself, Tom Pluto, Jared Law, or Tyler Dosh at 913-748-3000.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor and or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we're born to raise. At Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
When challenging conditions arise, we don't back down. We up our game. Outpacing the competition with innovations fueled by Bayer's R&D, keeping you equipped with an expanded portfolio, elite genetics, and additional local test plots. Channel leads the field, so you can rise above. See how you can save at channel.com/finance24. Read and follow pesticide label directions, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
Even though your attention has turned back to school with events and activities, you just can't forget everything going on at home. That's where your local Hoover Lumber hardware stores in Goodland and Colby come in. Keep the lawn in check with mowers, blowers, and trimmers from Craftsman, Toro, and Ego. They are still your local Benjamin Moore paint retailer, and they still have that amazing selection of outdoor grills and griddles from Traeger, Weber, and Blackstone. Plus, their helpful and knowledgeable staffs are some of the best in the Northwest. It's all at Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Open every day but Sunday. Phones nowadays can do practically anything, including feed you.
And now they cannot.
Well, that is if you download the McDonald's app. Use the McDonald's app to get deals on the food you love, including McCafes, soft drinks, fries, and so much more. Plus, keep up to date on what's trending at McDonald's with the latest promotions, events, new products, and specials. You can even order and pay from the app. So download it today and score from your local McDonald's at Burlington, Colby, Goodland, and Lamar.
Hey, it's Brian Haney, the voice of the Jayhawks, and you're listening to my main man, Ross Volkmer. He may be a Husker, but he also knows how to rock chalk. And you're listening to the Morning Blitz right here on 102.5 You Rock.
Continuing on a Thursday morning here on the Morning Blitz. About 20 minutes to go till the top of the hour. We will get to a little bit of baseball, chit-chats, and, of course, Broncos Saints. Some thoughts on that coming up a little bit later on our third segment. But it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty, as that's the time it's getting to be in the volleyball season, with high school volleyball's regular season in the books already. And then postseason starting up here on Monday with regional play and a whole new postseason format. And we're pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Colby Eagles, Shelby Mosier. It's time to spend some time with us this morning. Tell you what, Coach, it is the fastest regular season, I think, in all of sports. Isn't it? Pretty much you get those girls for about, 7 weeks, and that's about it?
Yeah, it went by really fast. And I think, this year with Keisha starting a week later, it seemed even faster. Starting school before practice this year was kind of the craziest little thing we've been through, but it flew by so fast. To think that we're talking about postseason today is weird.
If I would have told you when we talked at the very beginning, before the season even began, back when practice started, I said, you know what, you guys are going to be 31-5 when it's all said and done. What would you have said to me if we were in person? Would you have slapped me across the face, or how would that have gone?
I don't know that I'm not terribly surprised. I think this is a good group of girls. And I've always said, whatever they put their mind to, they can accomplish. Did I think that's what we were going to do? Was it what I was hoping we were going to do? Absolutely. But I can tell you every game we've played and all the things that we've gone through, the ups and the downs, I have become more and more proud of them every day. And I knew they were a group that could be successful. And I'm really glad that that's kind of the mindset that we've stuck through through the whole season. I think it's hard. Like you said, it's 7 weeks and you're playing 36 games. And it's really hard to stay consistent through that, but our girls did that. And so I'm really proud of them.
Coach, what's the main thing that you preach differently come this time of the year, that's different to the regular season?
Right now we talk a lot about like it takes everybody and it takes everybody's role. And, if you're not willing to do the role you're doing, then we have to make sure that we're finding somebody who will. And it's hard. These are hard days of practice. They're slow. We're working on really specific things. And drills aren't, they're a little bit different. And so we just, we talk about putting your head down and doing the work because, the outcome of it is going to be successful, but we have to have everybody. And it takes everybody. And if we don't have everybody in it, we're not going to be able to be successful. So, we really talk a lot about our commitment to your team this time of year. And even though you're tired and it's hard and it's been a long time and, change is coming, we have to stay engaged and we have to stay involved and stay in the present moment. And, these girls, I don't see us having an issue with that. They're pretty bought in. Everybody's done a really good job knowing their role and utilizing their role to the best of its ability. And I think we have a lot of selfless players on our team, and that really helps.
We're visiting with the head coach of the Colby Lady Eagle volleyball team, that's Shelby Mosier, on the Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware hotline. I know we talked about this the last time we visited, Coach, but I mean, to watch this group of ladies grow, from freshmen all the way up to now seniors has really got to be a real joy for you. And to see them accomplish some great individual goals, Elizabeth Barton, when it comes to, that sets the 1,000 digs and the assists for Allie Flanagan. And just recently, Bren Stanley got over the 1,000 kill mark. It's got to be so special to watch these girls achieve these goals, knowing that they've put so much time into the varsity level.
It is. It is so special, and I'm really excited. I mean, to have 3 of those accomplishments in 1 year is outstanding. They've all been on varsity since their sophomore year, and so it's been a lot of work. It didn't happen overnight. And I can tell you those are 3 kids plus many others on our team that have worked countless hours, never missed a weight room, never missed an open gym, never missed a team camp. And I think and they do that for all sports, not just ours. So I think that's something that's very valuable to our team. And I love that they have stayed consistent throughout their time at Colby High School, and they're being role models for our younger ones.
What has made you the most proud, being a coach and watching your girls have so much success this season?
I think the thing I'm most proud of is them working together, and them buying in to each other. And, we talk a lot about when it's hard to do things alone, and they don't have to do it alone in our team. And the girls have really bought into that and have done it together. And watching them have fun, even watching them play last year to watching them play this year, they're a whole different team as far as teamwork and team chemistry and communication. And they celebrate each other. And they rarely, take time to be selfish. And I think that's what makes them so special.
Coach, what is your opinion of the new postseason format that will be debuting here in a couple of days?
I mean, it took me a really long time to figure it out.
Thank goodness. I'm glad I'm not the only one that struggled.
I have read it every day since season started to try to figure it out. I mean, I think for us right now, the best opportunity, the best part about it is we had the opportunity to host the first round. And I think that's really special. To be able to have 2 out of our region, even though our region's bigger, go to state is nice, but it is confusing and it's hard and it has been a grind. And I can tell you, we've had many team debates on how it actually goes. But, I'm excited to see what happens. And I'm excited that we have the opportunity to host this first round and get to play more than one game. I think it'll be nice to have a little bit less pressure of the lose, you're out. We get to play 3 games no matter what on Monday. And I think that's going to ease us a little bit. I think it's going to ease some other teams' minds a little bit, knowing, you have time to make things up. It's not your very last.
I wanted to ask you about your particular little pod that you have to start out on Monday. You have Holcomb, Russell, and Southwestern Heights in your guys' particular pod. It's got to be kind of reassuring and a nice feeling knowing not only that are you at home, but you've played 2 out of those 3 teams that you could face here coming up on Monday already this season.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice that we don't have to do a lot of research. I mean, obviously Southwestern Heights we haven't seen, But thankfully we've been able to get film on them. But, where we've played, we can really look at what we can do better. And that's not usually the case. Usually you're playing someone you haven't played before and you're really working on film. But I think it has been a little bit more comforting to the girls, knowing we've been successful, but also knowing we get to focus on what we can do better, and we're not wasting or spending time looking at what they're doing, since we kind of already know that. So it is exciting. We watched film yesterday, and we had some really good talks about how we're going to get ourselves better before Monday. And I think the girls are ready.
What are you looking for to get better on before Monday?
Offensively, being able to be consistent and have a little bit more offensive endurance. I think sometimes, especially when you've got hitters like Bryn and Rylan and Shaylee, if you don't score right away, it's hard, because those are our best hitters. And so I think that we have to work on not being frustrated when we can't score right away. Teams are going to want to play their best against us, and we've said that all year. And so we have to be willing to be a little bit more endurance in that. I mean, our defense does a great job of that. I think our serve receive is pretty well set right now, but I think offensively we have to work on making sure that we are in the mindset to score all the time, even if it doesn't happen right away.
We're continuing to visit with Shelby Mosier, head coach of the Colby High School volleyball team. They are the number 4 seed in 3A. They will get to host starting on Monday at 4 o'clock Central Time in the Event Center, bringing in Southwestern Heights, Holcomb, and Russell. Before I let you go, Shelby, I wanted to get your personal thoughts. Your schedule this year has played a lot of, of course, obvious Western schools, but a lot of regional schools as well, some of the smaller schools from our region. I was curious if there are some of the schools that you're fascinated to know how they might have a good postseason run, or if they could have a good postseason run.
I think there are I think our league in general is tough, and I think we really saw that on Saturday at the league tournament. Cimarron's at the Hoisington Quad. We've got Holcomb, Scott City, Goodland. I mean, they're all looking really, really good right now. And I think that it's going to be kind of fun, when we're looking ahead, thinking about potentially, if we move on to Saturday, it could be us, Cimarron, Holcomb, and Hoisington, if it goes the way the seeds are seeded and everybody does their job. And I think it's really cool to see that, the GWAC specifically is a really tough and competitive league. And I think sometimes because we have smaller schools around us or in our league, I don't know that people take us as seriously. So it's really nice to see all of us in our league competing. And, it's been really nice. I've talked to Angie a lot. Obviously, I think she's done a great job kind of rallying her team in postseason. I think she always does. And so I think it's good to see some of our schools stay competitive and be competitive in this postseason.
No doubt the GWAC will certainly be tough, and I think other smaller schools in other classifications will certainly be a tough out as well, with Wheatland, Gurnell, and some Hoxie. Some other schools will be very, very good that you guys have played this season. She's the head coach of the Colby Lady Eagle volleyball team. That's Shelby Mosier. Coach, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Best of luck starting on Monday with the postseason.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ross. I appreciate it.
Once again, that's great stuff there from Shelby Mosier, head coach of the Colby Lady Eagle volleyball team. 31-5, and they are 31-2 since they lost the first 3 matches of the season.
That's some great numbers there.
And their losses this year, I'll read them off to you. Olathe West, Salina South, Dodge City, Garden City, and Beloit. Only one 3A loss.
Yeah, Olathe West. That's out by me.
Yep, so. That is. Yeah, they all met at the Hayes. It's like a tournament that Hayes hosts to kick off the season. And so they lost 3 matches. And so the funny thing is they lost to Salina South. Then they bounced back and beat Salina South later on that day. So, yeah, it's been a heck of a run for Colby. And this new postseason format is very fascinating. I will try to quickly go through it in synopsis for you. So it used to be where it was regionally based, where you would have pretty much all the GWAC schools would get together and it was a single elimination tournament. Now it's more of a deal where they have it seated, and the whole western half of the state is cut in half, or the state is cut in half, and on the side, and we'll just stick with 3A for simplicity purposes. They split the 32 teams, I think, or whatever it is, on the one side, and then on the east side is another 32 teams, and then they pretty much seeded out 1 through whatever it is. I don't know, 32 might be too many, but we'll just use that number since I've started with it. 1 through that, and then they seeded out like such. So you've got like the 2, the 6, the 10, and the 15, for example, play in a pod. And then you got to win 2 matches out of those, out of like what it would be a typical quad in volleyball. You got to win 2 of those to advance the next round. So if you do drop one, it's not the end of the world, but you need to win at least 2 to advance to Saturday, where then you need to win again to go to the state tournament. So it's pretty complicated compared to what it was. And just like, I'm just so glad Coach Moser said I had to read the pamphlet like 3 times, because I still don't. It's still confusing to me. You really have to go through the seeding, and you have to look at what seed number you are to see where you go. Just for example, like in 3A, like I said, you've got Colby, Holcomb, Russell, Southwestern Heights in 1. Goodland is going to the Minneapolis one, which has got the 2 seed Beloit, the 7 seed Minneapolis, the 10 seed Smoky Valley. Norton, Lake and Scott and Larned are all in 1 at Norton. Hoisington, Cimarron, Ellsworth, Lions, all those. So like I said, there's a lot of like I said, it's all kind of spread out, and you're feeling really good if you're Colby, because once again, you get to host. You don't have to travel. Unlike Goodland, who's got a 3+ hour bus trip to go to Minneapolis on Monday, which will be a challenge.
This is making a lot more sense now, because you said Minneapolis a couple days ago, and I didn't know there was a Minneapolis, Kansas.
Yeah, just north of Salina, you can find the wonderful town of Minneapolis, Kansas.
See, I'm figuring out this area. I'm gonna get it down, but I did.
It's not really our area, but you can try.
Well, it's other cities besides Kansas City.
Let
I guess.
me ask you this: what's the furthest west you have been prior to coming out to Colby?
Well, in Kansas.
In Kansas.
Well, we had driven to Denver.
I
so
guess,
probably,
true.
But I like, if as far as probably some baseball tournament. Where's Beloit? Because I've played baseball there.
Okay, I think. So Beloit would be a little bit north and a little bit west of Minneapolis.
Okay, yeah, somewhere in that area. But yeah, I completely thought that they were driving up to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
See, I've heard people who are from Kansas City be like, "Well, Salina's Western Kansas." Really?
It's not. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
It's not Western Kansas.
Well, no, it's not. But that's what I thought.
Although I admit, I was the one who, when I first came out here, when I was in college to cover some college baseball at Hayes, and I thought that was the furthest west Kansas went. No, wrong. It still goes another 2-3 hours before you finally get out of the state of Kansas.
Yeah, Manhattan is the that's it.
Not Western Kansas either.
That's as far. Topeka?
No.
I don't know. We're here now.
We're here now. And we appreciate you listening to what can be kind of a crazy show at times here on the Morning Blitz. All right, let's get to a break. Thanks to Shelby Moser for joining us. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the show with some quick talk on baseball. And, of course, Thursday Night Football tonight, where the Broncos play the Saints. You're listening to the Morning Blitz.
Mo and Matt and Michaela Cows at M&M Supply continues with deals on Hustler mowers. A good supply with discounts on some closeouts right now. Different models, different sizes, financing available. They'll take your trade-ins. They work on all types of different riding mowers, but they do carry Hustler mowers, Hustler parts. Hustlers made right here in Kansas, USA. They carry cordless DeWalt tools like DeWalt lodge edgers, chainsaws, trimmers, 20 or 60 watt. Yeah, they'll keep on growing, so you keep on mowing at M&M Supply, rural Edson, Kansas.
At FNB Bank, we understand the backbone of our community is our local farmers and ranchers. Whether you're growing crops, raising livestock, or investing in new equipment, we're here to help you succeed. Our agricultural loans are tailored to meet the unique needs of your farm, with flexible terms from people who understand what it takes to make it in agriculture. When you partner with FNB Bank, you're working with neighbors who know the land and are invested in your success. FNB Bank, rooted in our community, growing with you. Member FDIC.
When you got out, we don't want a nuisance that can be.
Lock 'em out. From Hinkle Termite and Pest Control, it's a very popular Lock 'em Out residential prevention program where their technicians will treat around the foundation of your home plus any other insect entry points like windows and doors. They guarantee you to be bug-free for a full season. And while they're there, they'll do a free termite inspection. For more information, call 785-460-BUGS or online at hinkletermite.com.
The Farmers State Bank of Oakley has been financing agriculture since the day we opened our doors. Hello, this is Corbin, and we are proud to be your locally owned partner in ag. We invite you to come and visit with us when you need to purchase new or used farm equipment, or need any type of agriculture or business loan. We have the knowledge, experience, and financial resources to keep you growing. The Farmers State Bank of Oakley, a tradition of community and agriculture for over 115 years. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Brian Haney, the voice of the Jayhawks. A two-hand follow jam is true for Josh Jackson. And you're listening to the Morning Blitz with our main man, Ross Volkmer, right here on 102.5 You Rock.
All right, I got to get to it. Shout out Gershon family, Grandpa Dave talking about KC barbecue and asking if Ross has had any. So here we go, Grandpa Dave. I'm going to tell you the 411. So I am from South Nebraska, but I went to college at Northwest Missouri State. That's where I went to college at. And so we spent a lot of time going to Kansas City where I was watching the Royals or maybe broadcasting a couple of games there at Arrowhead Stadium with Northwest Missouri State football. Had a chance to do that. So, but I have not had all the kinds. I have not. I've had Arthur Bryant's before, but that's probably about it. So I would not be a qualified person when it comes to ranking the top 5 barbecue places in Kansas City. I would not be qualified to do that. And it's been a long time since I've had any KC barbecue because I haven't been to Kansas City in a long time. You have to realize where we are now, it's a lot faster to go west to Denver, 2.5 hours, than it is to go 5 back to KC.
Yeah, it's a lot closer to
anyway.
Yeah.
Shout out Grandpa Dave. Thank you so much. Appreciate you listening to the show. All right, let's move on. Major League Baseball postseason last night. Dodgers roll the Mets. My goodness. Mets have no life. To me, the thing that continues to surprise me is the Dodgers pitching staff. I just do not have a lot of confidence going into this postseason, but they have apparently found it here when it matters the most, particularly the bullpen.
Yeah, the bullpen has looked great, and I mean, you've got it's hard to stop their offense. You have 3 guys that are MVP candidates every single year: Freeman, Ohtani, Betts. It's ridiculous. So I mean, yeah, they're right where they should be. They're exactly where they should be, and I don't think this series is over though. I really don't. I think the Mets steal the next one. I don't know why, and I have no reason to believe the Mets should even still be playing baseball right now, but they are, and they've gotten this far. I still think that this is a series because we know the Dodgers in the playoffs for most of my life have choked away series after series after series. So, I'm not counting the Mets out yet. But they looked like some trouble last night. Shohei's home run and Muncy.
What a tank shot. Gee, Christmas.
It said 410 and I'm like, I don't know.
Did you get the right calculations on that track, man?
Yeah, let's retrack that one, MLB, because that looked like it might have been a little farther.
Max Muncy's bomb was a big one too. I mean, that thing. I think they're playing with corked bats. I think that's what they're doing. They've got the bats.
Or they just have a lot of money to pay these sluggers. But Max Muncy has one of the most unique batting stances that I don't think a lot of people realize. But he is, I think, the only person that I've ever seen swing a baseball bat that starts his swing by moving his back foot. He moves his back foot first and then gets his load going. It's very unique. Next time Max Muncy's at the plate and you're watching, notice it because it's very small, but it's very, very unique. And it would mess up most hitters, but Max Muncy somehow makes it work. But
gets all that momentum going forward for Max Muncy. That's how it works. They have a little step forward. Tonight, by the way, Game 3, Yankees and Guardians. Do you think Guardians even get a game here tonight at home or no?
Annoyingly, I think they do.
Oh, wow.
I think they get this game at home, and then I do not see them winning another game. I think that they are going to steal. I think it's going to be very similar to that Royals series where the Royals, well, actually, they didn't win at home. They went away. But regardless, I think that they're going to steal this one tonight, and then I don't think that they're going to win another game, and I think the Yankees will cruise on to the series after that. But for whatever reason, that's just what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the Guardians are going to take this one tonight just because they don't want to go down with a sweep. So
I hope they don't. And real quick, before we get to the walk-off, Broncos and Saints tonight. What are you looking for from a Broncos perspective? Both these, Broncos got off to a horrible start, won a couple in a row. Now have lost a game here to the Chargers in a game I think they probably could have won, but really played bad, especially for 3 quarters offensively. And the Saints, after that amazing start to the season, have just completely fallen off the truck. So what are you seeing? What do you want to see tonight from the Broncos in particular?
Well, I want to see them run the ball effectively. With that they have a deep running back core that they like to use a lot of different guys. So I'd like to see them run the ball. And then Bo Nix, really, in those wins that they've had, he's used his legs very well. So I think running the ball is going to be big. And then getting Cortland Sutton He's so talented at the receiver position. It's unbelievable. I think he's very underrated still. He had that incredible catch last week. So I think getting him more involved in the offense is a big deal for this Broncos team if they want to win, because they have a big chance tonight to take down the Saints, because they've not looked the same. Spencer Rattler did look good last week. I will say that.
That's right. 2 rookie quarterbacks tonight, Rattler and Bo Nix. For me, I want to see a fast offensive start for Denver. These only having 88 yards and no points for the first 3 quarters has got to stop if you're Sean Payton. Figure it out, man. How you got to do it. And defensively, my guess is if you're a Bronco defender, you're mad because you had a horrific game against the Chargers. You did not play well up to your level, I would say, is how I would word that. So anyway, I would just say that needs to probably happen.
Yeah, can't get down early again like they did last week.
Get down. And guys, like I said, I think number one is we have to get off to a faster start if you're a Denver fan. Have to get off to a faster start. By the way, talking barbecue real quickly, Michael on the listener says barbecue in Denver is better. I don't know if I agree with that.
Wow.
Hottest take of the day, boys.
Michael. I don't know.
I don't know about that either.
I don't know. I think that's Joel's burner.
That might be. Joel's burner might be. All right, let's get to the walk-off.
A 3-run walk-off home run. A game-winning walk-off with a walk-off.
His second walk-off hit of the season.
In walk-off fashion. That baby's go.
I don't ever want to hear again how legislation in sports cannot be changed quickly. I don't ever want to hear it again. Because of Dan Lanning's little loophole that he pulled this weekend against Ohio State, where he purposely left 12 guys on the field to get an extra 10 seconds ran off the clock, which did play a factor in that game and its outcome to help the Ducks win. The NCAA has closed the loophole, saying you cannot do that anymore, and it's already passed and been done. Don't tell me we can't get things done quickly, people. If it needs to get done, just get it done. The NCAA did it yesterday in pretty much, 48 to 72 hours? It don't take that much time.
It was quick, yeah. Props to the NCAA for getting that done, because I know the NFL would take probably half a decade to have gotten that changed. So that's props to them for getting that done quick, because, yeah, I mean, it's one of those little things it's just, it's ridiculous, but it has a factor, It shaves off 10. You can have, how much time would have been left if that didn't happen?
I don't know, but here's the thing that amazes me. The rule should be, if there is a penalty against the team that is leading, they should not have the option of running the clock down. Like, it should be, it's a 10-second runoff because it's just a penalty this late in the game. No. If it's against the team that's trying to burn clock, it should just be the clock is where it was. It should.
Can we put some common sense?
Who did not think of that when they put the rules together is what I want to know. Who's the dummy who didn't think of that?
Yeah, a little common sense sprinkled into some of these officiating rules would be nice.
It would be.
Yeah.
This is a nice show. For Max Gershon, I'm Ross Volkmer. We're out of here. We're back on a football fun Friday. We'll see you tomorrow here on The Blitz.
This is Rocket 102.5 KKC.